Hey everyone, it's Terrariums and Tea, and I want to show you how I kept some of my terrariums warm this winter without keeping the heat on in the apartment constantly. So what I did was I bought this, and it's a reptile heat mat, and it's only 8 watts, but you can't use this by itself. You have to have something to regulate the heat. So I got one of these, and it has a little thermostat in it, and it also has a on-off switch that's inside a sensor, and this is the sensor. Probably can't see it, but it's in this little pot. The sensor goes in here and it turns off the heat mat, and I'll show you how I set it up. Alright, here's everybody on the heat mat on the shelf. If you look down here, you can see the key, and the key regulates the temperature. You can't see it because it's down here somewhere, but there's a gauge. It's circular, and you put the key in and you twist it so it's the right temperature that you want. These terrariums are half on the mat, half off, so they're never going to be as warm as the one in the middle. This has worked out really well. I can always stick my finger in that middle one, check the temperature, decide if I want it hotter or cooler. I haven't had any problems with mold since doing this, so everybody's happy. And let me do a little update on some of my orchids. This is the division, the keiki of the other Dendrobium. It's growing really well. And here's my Dendrobium. Very Oda. It's flowering for no reason. And this one, the Miltoniopsis. As you can see, it's growing new roots. It really likes this Ceramis clay and bark mix, which is great because it's one of the only few brands I can buy out here. And I have this one in the same mixture, and it is also growing new roots. And I noticed that it looks like it has buds on the other side, like flower buds. I was told that these produce a lot of keikis, so I haven't had too many keikis. Where are the buds? Oh, that looks like something. Let's see. Let me focus in. What is that? Can you see that? I don't know what that is. I'm hoping it's flowers and not a keiki. But this one produced these flowers pretty much overnight. So, and they're super fragrant. I'm very happy with this little guy. And if I see more of him, or similar ones, I probably won't buy it, honestly. The flowers on this one are just like, they're okay, I like it, and it smells good, but I don't know, he's fun though. Like, he's easy to grow, he's happy. He doesn't look like he has a virus, he doesn't have bugs. Oh, bugs! Speaking of bugs, let me show you this one. I got this Stanhopea orchid. I have wanted one for so long. I was told you can only grow these in a greenhouse, but I've seen other people grow them in just their houses, so I'm gonna give them a try. I wasn't gonna replant him. I was gonna keep him in the little pot and everything that he was in. I was scared to touch the roots, but I noticed bugs. I don't know what to call them. They're like those little bugs that are always in the soil when you get the wrong kind of compost. Like, it had those kinds of bugs in it. So I had to take him out of his soil, which was a good thing because almost all the roots were just falling off. Like, they were just too wet. And I took him out of that. It was like half, the top had rocks, and so those roots were those ones were doing great because they were in rock. The bottom part had moss like this, but it was really clumped together and it was too moist, so a lot of those roots were kind of dead. I washed it in hydrogen peroxide, which is for some reason really hard to get in the UK and super expensive, but I guess that's life. I tried using, somebody suggested using like that Listerine mouthwash, the yellow kind, and I had washed my Cymbidium orchid in it, and it did a good job. Like, it killed whatever bugs was in it, and I haven't seen a single bug on that Cymbidium. It's in the living room though, like it's not next to anything. But it smelled horrible. It smelled like Listerine for like 3 weeks. Like, it just now stopped smelling. So, hydrogen peroxide all the way. I am going to leave them in this setup for now. I heard they don't flower until they're much bigger, so I'm not worried about the flowers coming out of the bottom yet. Or when they do, when he's bigger, I'm just gonna put him in a basket. So, but he's not big enough. I really like him. Yay. Okay, back on the mat you go. Okay, this is my Cymbidium Mighty Mouse Mini crossed with lemon butter, and it's called Solana Gold, I believe. I like this Cymbidium only because it's so big, and the blooms are pretty, but I mostly like it for its size. When this one flowered, it had 4 flower stems, so it was quite beautiful, but right now it's just chillin'. Okay, this is my Oncidium cherry baby. It's the generic cherry baby. It just finished flowering. I threw away the other 2 orchids that I got at the flower market because I was afraid that they might have a virus, and when I looked into getting the virus test strips for orchids, I found out how expensive they were, and they cost much more than my plants. And I sadly also learned that wiping down, you know, like a knife blade with some rubbing alcohol, and then, you know, putting a flame under it from like a lighter, that doesn't kill the virus. I thought it did, it doesn't. I was told that you have to use like the gas burner on the stove. You have to use one of these guys, and you have to hold the blade over the open flame for 10 seconds or so, and you have to not wipe it with alcohol, but like really soak it with alcohol or bleach, not a quick spray. So I might have exposed him to a virus. Sorry. I don't know what to do. There's nowhere that I can just test it cheaply. If anyone has an electron microscope and you want to be my friend, please let me know. Alright, please subscribe and please leave some comments on my channel if you're so inclined. Bye.